Hey guys, it's Ricardo from Fireside Weekenders, and today's project is going to be installing the HaloView MC7108 backup camera on our Salem FSX with the Furrion adapter. Make sure you stick around. Alright, so the first step that we're going to take is to remove the old housing from the camper. Alright, so what the adapter kit does is two things for you. Number one, it comes with this bracket and it allows you to mount the HaloView camera directly in the holes where the Furrion camera used to be. So obviously, the less holes the better. The second thing that it does for you is that it brings this little adapter that you're going to plug in to the camera on this side and then use the existing wire or the existing cable from the Furrion adapter and plug it in right there. So it's really plug and play. So the HaloView camera in the package is going to bring this cable here. This side connects to the camera and this side connects right here. So if you don't want to have to touch the electricity, then you just use the adapter kit and plug it in right here. It's another point of failure, so I personally don't prefer it. This connection right here is very easy to tap into, so I'm just going to use this that comes straight with the kit. Now what I have decided to do is keep this on here. Reason being is because this is a pretty large hole. Obviously they needed it big enough to pass these through, but the bracket isn't necessarily going to cover the whole thing, but adding this will give it a lot more protection, and then I'll just re-caulk where this is at. They do have other kits where you can just mount the camera to a new faceplate and keep the original housing, but I didn't have any luck finding one that fit the housing I had. Alright guys, sorry about the noise. If I waited around every time there was no noise to film these, I wouldn't get anything done. So the next step is to go ahead and feed this line through here and connect it right to the trailer. Alright, now I'm going to go ahead and cut these connections off and just re-terminate them. There you go. I went ahead and mounted the bracket down on the bottom. It's a hell of a lot easier. So then all you got to do up here is screw it right onto the trailer. Now I'm going to be using the same screws that came with the Furrion housing, only because they are longer and they're black. The ones that came with this setup are a lot shorter. There's actually a stud right back here that I want to make sure that it bites into so it doesn't bounce while we're going down the highway. Now I'm going to go ahead and plug this in. All you got to do is line up these little tabs with the holes down here and then push in and turn to lock it in place. We're going to try to feed all of the cable in through there. Alright, now that is nice and solid. I don't think it'll go anywhere for sure. So we'll get into the Pathfinder and hook up the monitor, pair it, and see what we get. Alright, so now we are ready to program and set up the monitor. It's a nice 7-inch. One thing I like about their setup is that they give you a lot of different ways to mount stuff. So one of the ways, this little mount that they give you, and this can be mounted two separate ways. Number one, You can put little screws in here if this was going to be something permanent for you, or you didn't mind holes on your console, or you had someplace else that you were fabricating to put it on there. They also have it so it's double-sided tape, so you get 3M tape right on it, and you can stick it right onto your dashboard. The other cool thing about it is that it has these lines right here that allow you to bend it, and this is nice and rigid, but you can basically bend it to the contour that you need, so it has a nice good surface area. The other way that you can mount it is with this bracket right here. If you're okay with putting screws on and everything like that into your dashboard, then you put this around the side like this, and then you can screw it on to whatever surface that you would like. We're part-timers, so one thing that I would like to see is a nice little suction mount that I can just put right on the windshield. And I guess I could put this on the windshield, but again, I'm not full-timing, so I want to be able to remove this piece whenever I want. It's bulky, so it gets in the way. The other thing that it comes with is 2 ways to connect it. So you have these cables right here that you would hardwire into the car. If you hardwired it in, then if you put it in reverse, the camera will turn on when you're in reverse. If you have the ones, the kit that comes with the marker lights with the cameras, then whenever you put your turn signal on, the screen will change to that specific camera and blow it up for you in nice big screen there. We don't have the side marker lights, so there's only going to be one camera constantly being shown in here, and I'd rather have the camera on at all times, so whenever I'm driving on the highway, I have a better way to see what's behind me. So I'm just going to use the nice cigarette plug. It's got a nice little power button. It also comes with the 2 antennas. One antenna is for the monitor, and the other antenna is for the camera, which obviously, since I have it here, I forgot to hook it up. So when I go caulk, I'll put this on there. It's nicely labeled. Same thing with the wires. All these wires are nicely labeled. Even the ones that, for the camera and everything, it specifically tells you where to put it. So it's pretty nice. Alright, so we have the car hooked up to the camper. I'm going to plug in the camera. By the way, I also forgot to mention that this monitor comes with a hood, so if you put it in an area that just has too much glare, you can use it. In order to hook it up with the cigarette plug, you are going to need to use the adapter. It does come with the kit, so you don't have to worry about that. Plug it in as such. Basically match the plugs to each other. There's a nice little ridge on it. You can only put it in one way. So now that we got that plugged in, we'll hook this up to the cigarette plug. Alright, press the power button. Alright, it is turning on. Now I'm going to turn on the running light so I can provide power to the camera. And there you go. Then you get the screen and you're all set. Now that we verified everything's working, we can tighten everything up and start caulking. So one of the things that I like about this is that it has a microphone on the camera. So a useful feature for that is if your significant other is back there directing you on where to go, then they don't have to shout out to you. And you also don't need the walkie-talkies if you don't have them. They can just tell you the directions back there in a normal voice, and you'll be able to hear it right through this monitor. The other cool feature is that you have the backup lines. You can use that to help you navigate. If you don't like those lines on there, then you can remove them right from the menu. And you can select which camera gets the parking lines, and you can also adjust them if they're not really lined up with your vehicle. The other useful feature is that if you choose to put a memory card on it, then it'll record whatever's happening back there. When you get this camera, it's supposed to pair automatically. So as soon as you turn on the camera, you turn on the monitor, the picture's supposed to come up. Now, if you for some reason have a pairing issue, there's two ways that you can do it. Number one, there's the wireless way to do it. All you have to do is go into the menu in the monitor and go to pairing. Then you'll have 20 seconds to go back to the camera, press the little pairing button on the back of it, and it should automatically pick it up, assuming that you're within range and that you have power. The other way to do it is that they give you this little cable right here, and it specifically says pairing cable. So what you do is you connect this side, the single side, to the power outlet in the cigarette lighter in the car, and then one side goes to the camera, one side goes to the monitor, and you'll turn on the monitor, the camera will already be powered on, and you will be able to see the screen. Alright, so that wraps it up for me today. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you found it useful or think somebody else will find it useful, make sure to share our video. And as always, if you like our content, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you during the next install.